All right, what's up, everybody? So look, let's get right into it, man. Of course, last night we had the Chavez Jr. versus Jake Paul fight, and I just don't get it, bro. I keep it real with y'all. I just don't be getting too many things in boxing anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of crazy, bro. Because we had this fight last night, right? And this fucking fight was about as entertaining as Canelo's last fight. You know what I'm saying? Actually, this fight was more entertaining than Canelo's last fight, which is crazy as fuck. Just stop and think about that shit, bro. This fight was literally more entertaining than Canelo's last fight. But it was a shit show, bro. It was a garbage ass fight, trash ass fight. And then when I look online today, it just seems like they're pushing a narrative, right? A lot of people are out here saying like, "Oh, Jake Paul looked a lot better. He boxed a lot better." This and that, bro. And I'm over here thinking, like, for real? Like, is this really what you guys saw, or is there something else happening, right? Like, I just think there's a narrative that's being pushed out here, and it's crazy because I see it all over Facebook and Instagram that Jake Paul, he did something impressive last night because he took out, Chavez Jr., man. And let's just keep this shit all the way 100, bro. Jake Paul fought a fucking crackhead last night, bro. And I'm not saying this shit to be funny, bro. I don't even want to say this shit about Chavez Jr., but this is just the damn truth. You know what I'm saying? He fought a crackhead last night, right? A guy he's clearly had drug issues, right? Clearly he's an addict. He's a straight crackhead, bro. Like anybody that's followed Chavez Jr.'s career, or his life or whatever, you guys know this shit, right? The only reason he came back to fight Jake Paul was for the money. You know what I'm saying? This is the exact same shit with Canelo. Jake Paul and Canelo, they're the exact same fucking thing, bro. When you really break it down and think about it, it's the same shit, right? Jake Paul is able to fight these guys that are way lesser opposition than him, or that he just has a huge advantage over in some weird way, whatever it might be. And they take the fight because of the money that he's offering them, right? The same shit with Canelo. He fights somebody 2 divisions under him, and that guy, Terrence Crawford, takes the fight because of the money. It's the exact same shit, right? So everybody that's out here talking about Jake Paul looked good and, he's improving, I didn't see that shit at all, bro. To me, I looked at Jake Paul like he really, truly got exposed, you know what I'm saying, last night. In my eyes, bro, when you know what you're looking at, you can see how clear this shit is, bro. And to me, it's clear as day. How in the fuck did Jake Paul get in the ring last night with a crackhead? And he was gassed as hell, bro. He looked like he was in there fighting for his life against somebody that was not throwing punches, bro. And do you guys know why Chavez Jr. was not throwing punches? Because his body doesn't respond no more, bro. All that shit that all the abuse that he's been doing to his body these last couple of years, his body doesn't work no more, bro. That connection is not there. Did you guys not see Chavez Jr.'s stance, his guard, bro? It wasn't like this, bro. He had a guard like with his elbows in, bro. It looked like crackheaded-ish, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't no slick guard, nothing like that. Towards the end of the fight, it seemed like he tried to get something going, bro. And a lot of people, I guess you give Chavez some kind of credit, but to keep it real with y'all, bro, Chavez should have never been in there in the first place. He only did this shit for the money. And I have a feeling, bro, and it's kind of fucked up because Chavez Jr., it seemed like he was getting back on track and he was getting his life together. He's been clean, supposedly. But guess what's going to happen with his fucking paycheck, bro? I guarantee you that he's going to spiral out of control again, because this is what always happens with Chavez Jr., bro. He gets the bag from his fights and he loses it. He gets out of control, bro. He starts draining his money quick, and then he gets clean, and then he comes back and takes on another bullshit ass fight. Gets everybody trying to support him again, bro. It's pretty fucked up because everybody supports him just because of the great Julio Cesar Chavez, his dad. This is why a lot of Mexicans support him, bro, just because of his dad. And he's able to fool the public into thinking, oh yeah, he might be back. He might give us even a little glimpse of what he used to be. But that shit is never gonna happen, bro. Hopefully this was his last fight, because I don't think nobody's ever gonna want to see him in the ring again, because he's just not there, bro. He just can't throw. His body just, his body is weak, deteriorated. You know, that's what happens when you've been abusing all that shit for years. You know what I'm saying? And this is what Chavez Jr. has been doing. So the fact that Jake Paul went in there and he looked like he was going to war, right? He was fucking exhausted himself, bro, against somebody that wasn't punching him. You know, that speaks numbers about Jake Paul, bro, and what kind of a boxer he really is, man. He's garbage, bro. Jake Paul is straight trash, you know what I'm saying? Jake Paul realistically should have knocked out Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. You know, and the fact that he could not do this shit when Chavez Jr. was in there looking like a crackhead, it just speaks volumes, you know. The fact that he was in there super gassed, the fact that he lost the last couple of rounds against a crackhead, bro, it to me, Jake Paul got exposed, right? So I just don't know how everybody's out here today talking about, oh, you know, Jake Paul is improving, this and that, blah, blah, blah. You know, Jake Paul, he's finally trying to take on some real boxers, but this guy is trash, bro. Trust me. Jake Paul, as soon as he actually even steps in the ring with a decent boxer, bro, someone around his age, somebody that's not a crackhead, bro, somebody just somebody normal, bro, a normal boxer. It doesn't even have to be something great. You know what I'm saying? A normal boxer, bro, Jake Paul is going to get KO'd because from what I seen last night, he can't even take a punch, bro. Chavez Jr. was barely throwing any punches, but the couple of punches that he did throw and land on Jake Paul, you could tell that Jake Paul does not like getting hit, right? And it kind of bothered him, and that's why he started losing those later rounds, you know? But at the end of the day, man, this is how I saw this fight, bro. I don't know if I'm tripping or I don't know if the world is tripping. I don't know what the fuck is going on in boxing these days where these fucking shit shows just keep happening. But this is just what I saw, bro. And I got to come out here and keep it real like I always do and just, you know, speak facts, bro. This was what we got last night. We had fucking Jake Paul fighting a crackhead, bro. And Jake Paul could not get that guy out of there, bro. Actually, he gave him problems in the later rounds, man. And no, Jake Paul did not look good, bro. There was nothing impressive there. He was in there against a punching bag, and he still couldn't deliver, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, those are my thoughts, and that's my breakdown of this fucking fight. You know, let me know what you guys think, bro. Let me know if I'm just tripping or did you guys see something else, man. Go ahead and leave me a comment. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and that's it for me. You know, I'll be on to the next one, man. I'm out.